you waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em a shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Taking no L's, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change.
I wake up from a nap. Listen, niggas can't even take a nap anymore. We can't even take a nap anymore without catching some bad news. I'm sure it's probably come across your phones by now, but it has been announced by Shams. It's been announced by the Cleveland Cavaliers organization that we got another injury. Cavaliers forward Evan Mobley injured his left calf during Friday night's game at Washington after a post-game evaluation of tightness in that area. An MRI today at Cleveland Clinic Sports Health revealed a grade 1 strain. Mobley will begin treatment and is expected to miss approximately 2 to 4 weeks. Now, that does not sound like a long time frame. Doesn't sound like it's anything severe. It's just a grade 1 strain. That said, it's just yet another example of how much injuries have played a part in this start to this season. Through 26 games, and we got another one that's going to last a couple of weeks. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, we're literally, it just feels like we're facing some new injury woe each and every week that goes by of this season. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. You're 26 games into a season. I'm glad they were able to scratch and claw their way to victory against the lowly Washington Wizards just last night. I was heated during that stream, but to wake up from my nap, I'm just trying to just get a nap on a weekend with the kids, right? The kids sleeping. I'm trying to take advantage of this time, and I wake up, and this is bad news. This is just ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. I don't know what this team did. Did they did they shit somewhere they weren't supposed to? Did they defile somebody's grave? Because it feels like the basketball gods just have no mercy. It just feels like they have no mercy for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. I don't know. It's getting a little out of hand. I'm hoping that we get some more guys returning here soon. I think Jarrett Allen is probably going to return to tomorrow's game against the Charlotte Hornets. But as we get one back, one is leaving. And again, it's not a long frame of time, just 2 to 4 weeks, but we know how these things can spiral out of control very, very quickly. And we know, honestly, how much the Cavaliers have missed the presence of both of their bigs being out there on that court, not just one of them, because they've become extremely perimeter centric. We complained last night about them taking 53 threes, and I think Jarrett Allen, should he return tomorrow, is probably going to help with that, because they do have another rim rolling threat out there, a physical big, no matter what people believe about him. But I want both of these guys healthy at the same damn time, man. It's getting out of hand with these injuries. I mean, we're already down Max right now. We don't have Sam back yet. Larry's out right now. Evan is out right now. It just feels as if things can't, it just feels like they can't get any worse. They can, but man, I'm getting tired of these injuries just piling up. But we'll have to see what Kenny Atkinson cooks up. If Evan indeed does miss a substantial amount of time, which again, 2 to 4 weeks, read into it however you want. But this is a stretch where it was really being viewed as an opportunity for this team to string together a good amount of victories. That's the one saving grace right now, is that it's not coming during a stretch in which you're facing off against some really, really high level competition. You're getting most teams under 500. I think basically every team that's going to face over the next couple until the Christmas Day game against the New York Knicks is coming against a team that is below 500. You got Charlotte, you got 2 games against Chicago, you got Charlotte again, and you got New Orleans. These are not what the these are not exactly teams that the Cavaliers should be struggling with. But after watching them have a hell of a time trying to defeat a Washington Wizards club that was down a good number of their players over there, I don't know, man. They could be in for a dogfight because Evan Mobley has been, and I know people have not been impressed with the season that he's had as a whole, but Evan, as of late, over his last 7 games, has been one of their more consistent players. He's been somebody that has been offering them a really, really good option out there, especially in the first halves of games. Evan Mobley, if I'm not mistaken, over his last 7 games is averaging 20.1 points, 10.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.7 blocks, and shooting 49.5% from the field, including 33.3% from 2-point distance. And while the perimeter shooting percentages aren't great, he did really start to level out that free throw percentage at 84.6%. And he's doing that and while basically averaging 20, 11, and 5. That's a very productive stat line for what they ask him to do. And it just feels like as soon as he is starting to hit his stride, boom, injury. Same thing happened to Sam Merrill. I think, we're obviously waiting with bated breath on Max Strus and what he's going to look like when he comes back. But can we just get some freaking consistency in regards to health around here? It's getting ridiculous. As Floyd Phillips II says down here, when it rains in Cleveland, it's actually a blizzard. Yeah, that probably sums it up about right. It's getting out of hand. Floyd also says Cavs will only miss him in the first half because they ignore him in the second half. Now, interestingly enough, I actually posted the differences between Mobley and what he is averaging in the first halves of games and in the second half of games. In the first half, Evan Mobley is averaging 10.3 points, 4 boards, 1.8 assists, and he is shooting 48.5% from the field, and he's doing so on 7.9 field goal attempts. Conversely, in the second half of games, he is averaging 8.7 points, 5.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and he is shooting 51.3% from the field on roughly 6.1 attempts. Obviously, the one that people are going to point out the most is the field goal attempts, right? Dropping 1.8 field goal attempts between the first and the second, taking fewer. What you do see kind of trend upward is the rebounds. That's good to see. And the assists, something that Evan has continued to work on, is being a playmaker and getting his other guys involved, whether that is an offensive hub around the elbows or around the rim, right? Hitting guys that are cutting to the basket or out on the perimeter. But he's been efficient. So while he is not taking as many shots in the second half of games, he's at the very least making more of them. So he's been more efficient. So I can't necessarily agree with him not being involved or being rather ignored in the second half of games, but I do wish that they would continue to go to him with a little bit more consistency. But with Evan out, I would assume that they do one of two things, because Larry is still out and Thomas Bryant is not really a power forward option at this standpoint. I highly doubt that Kenny Atkinson would turn to Thomas Bryant to start at the 4. One thing that I think he could potentially look at is having heavy Bryant minutes in that second unit to kind of make up for the lack of a true another big body out there, because Evan, contrary to popular belief, while we all envision him various ways, Evan still splits a good amount of its time between the 4 and the 5, especially with Jarrett Allen missing a good amount of games. So far, he's played 72% of his minutes at center to 28% at the power forward position. So what can they do? Well, they can start DeAndre Hunter at the 4. If they're getting Jarrett Allen back truly, then they will probably obviously start him at center. If Jarrett is not in fact going to be back tomorrow, what's likely to happen is Thomas Bryant starting. Don't have a problem with that, but obviously I would prefer Jarrett Allen to be the first option there. Also at the 4, they can still lean Dean Wade and go to some lineups, because you still have Darius. You got the rest of your starting 5 essentially if Evan is being subbed out. You can just do Darius, Donovan, Jalen Tyson at the 3, DeAndre Hunter or Dean Wade at the 4, and you can have Jarrett Allen at the 5 or Thomas Bryant there. Again, you can flip-flop however you want, but that does take some strength away from your bench. So you got to kind of have to finagle that and figure it out because, again, Larry is out. You don't have another option in the front court to really, truly lean on. So I'm really interested to see what they end up doing here in this spot because it's going to tell us a lot about what they believe. Something else they could also do, Naquan Tomlin. That's probably somebody that stands to benefit from this. Unfortunate injury to Evan Mobley is Naquan Tomlin. Look for Tomlin to get more minutes than he's actually playing this season. And listen, he had a bad game against Washington. He fouled out after just 10 minutes. But Tomlin, over his last couple of games, right, prior to last night's performance, he was actually getting 18.9 minutes per game since entering the rotation. So that's another player that you could potentially lean on if you need to. But this just feels like it's a never-ending cycle of injuries for this Cavaliers team because we've seen them happen to just about everybody that has played. Donovan has missed a couple of games, not very many. Darius is obviously on some sort of injury management plan. Ditto for Lonzo. Sam, we already know what's going on with his hand. Jarrett Allen with his finger. Max Strus with the foot. Obviously hasn't even played yet this season. Larry Nance Jr. It just feels like there have been a number of injuries to this team. Jalen Tyson missed a handful of games with a concussion. It's it just says a lot about where we are right now in terms of injury. Floyd, I see your comment down. It says Mac didn't even go to the Cavs game in DC, so that says a lot about our level of excitement for this team. No, actually, I was trying to get to that one. I couldn't find sitter. Right, kids, number one priority. I wanted to go to the game, but obviously, your duties as a parent supersede that. Obviously, you know that. Illuminators Press says rough news, Mac. Yeah, it's disheartening. Cavs King 2016 says, man, are we cooked? It feels like it at times this year, but at least it's not like grade 2 or anything that's going to cause him to miss substantial time. The current outline at most has him missing a month, which would put him, as of today, if you go for traditional 4 weeks, that's 28 days. That would put him back in Cleveland or back on the court around early to mid-January. So we'll see. Good news is that they have a slate here that they may not necessarily need him for, but I say that very, very lightly because they struggled last night against a lowly Washington Wizards team. So I don't know. It's just another blow, and I hate it, but I'm hoping that they'll be able to utilize this time to continue evaluating some of the other talent that's brimming on the roster. And again, I think Tomlin stands to benefit from this. I think that we're really going to get more Thomas Bryant minutes. I think we're going to get some more Dean Wade minutes, but we'll have to see. Maybe even they, throw Jalen Tyson in more minutes at the 4, which that was something that Kenny Atkinson did when Tyson saw the court at times last year when they were, suffering through some of their injury issues. Tyson, if you weren't actually aware, played roughly 41% of his minutes at the power forward position last year. He's actually only done that at 7% this year. He's seen the court primarily at the small forward, 64% there, 29% at the 2. And the results kind of speak for themselves between him starting at the 2 and the 3. But maybe Kenny Atkinson flirts with the idea of, utilizing him at the 4 once more because of how versatile he is, especially on the glass, one of the better rebounding wings on the roster that we have. But I don't know. Hate to see it happen right before Christmas because essentially that means that Evan Mobley will miss the Christmas Day game, which just sucks ass. I hate that. I truly hate that. And that, to me, I'm not going to outright count them out, but it's really a heavy blow because that New York Knicks team is playing much, much better. They are playing like the superior team. When this team is at its full strength, do I believe that New York is the superior team? No, but we have to acknowledge that at 17-7, New York has played like the better team. And I don't think that's crazy to say. And without Evan Mobley, I really don't think that's it's going to be an easy one. Probably going to be the underdog in that game, and rightfully so, with who has been missing for the bulk of the season. So we gotta get some good news here soon, or I'm gonna go crazy. I'm just tired of these things popping up. These injuries for the Cavaliers have just been god awful. And honestly, it feels like we're cursed. It feels like the Cavaliers pissed somebody off. I don't know what they did to the basketball gods, but we're being punished right now. We're being punished right now after such a great season last year. And obviously that started in the playoffs. I don't know what the Cavaliers, what sort of thing they have going on right now, but calf strains are one of those things that can be very tricky. So though it is listed as grade 1, this could obviously be worse than 2 to 4 weeks. So let's keep Evan in our prayers. Let's hope that it's nothing too dire, and hopefully he returns to the court soon and the Cavaliers are able to kind of tread water in his absence, because over these last couple of seasons, Evan Mobley has actually been a really, really big part of games in regards to win and loss, record. In regards to their record. Games without Evan Mobley generally haven't gone well because the Cavaliers defense craters, and with Jarrett Allen being less than 100%, if he does come back, just doesn't really bode well for them. So hopefully they're able to tread water. Again, I am happy that they have this stretch of games that they may not necessarily need him for, but with Nance and Mobley, that's two. And I know people are pretty sour on Larry at this moment in time, still my guy, but and I understand the rough start that he has had to the season, but he is at least a depth piece. That's 2 pieces of your front court depth that you can't count on being out there. Jarrett's not 100 right now, so that really only leaves you potentially, without knowing just yet, with Thomas Bryant, Dean Wade, DeAndre Hunter, and whatever you can get from the likes of Naquan Tomlin and Jalen Tyson at the 4. So I don't know. Time will tell. Hopefully Evan's in good spirits. Hopefully the team is in good spirits, but I'm sure they're all pretty pissed off about yet another blow to the rotation, and I'm sure Kenny Atkinson is as well. I don't know, man. I'm pretty demoralized right now, I gotta admit, but I'm keeping hope alive. I'm keeping hope alive. We need our depth to return. They got to be able to tread water in the meantime, though. As I always tell you guys, if you'd like to reach out, you know how you can. It's Cavalier_pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to the It's Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot, set a review to It's Cavalier53@gmail.com, and I will send you said invite. If you haven't already done, do your boy a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber to the It's Cavalier podcast. If you're over on X right now, head over to YouTube, do the same, hype the video up, because that's a great way to get things cooking in terms of the algorithm. Go Cavs.